Hi, this is Ken and Michelle Bass.
And you're listening to the Resilient Parenting Podcast.
Well, welcome back to another episode with us, Ken and Michelle. Another busy day and a busy time of year. If you were listening closely behind us, you could hear the washing machine going.
Oh, yes. We're always multitasking. We had a busy weekend. We actually, normally we try to have some low time just to kind of rest before the busy week. But we had a busy weekend, which was full of fantastic activities. But I did realize that Advil is my friend. And I was talking about how my next plan was to go home and take some Advil. And then I met someone, I can't remember who this wise person was, but they said, I take Advil before I start. And I was like, you understand me. I need to start doing that. Getting older is, in so many ways, is such a blessing. And it's like, wow, this is like amazing. And then it's not, because I feel like my brain is still, well, at times younger, but my body is like, tricks on you.
The irony of you talking about getting older is not lost on me.
Yeah. I mean, how is it a few years ahead?
I'll tell you.
Ew. Please don't do that. If that's my future, no thank you.
Okay, kid.
Gosh. It's okay. There's a rocking chair in the corner. I'll just put you over there.
Thank you.
That's so mean.
And a blanket, too.
And of course, a blanket. Of course. I'm not mean.
But we digress.
Always. Isn't that our kind of our thing?
Yeah.
So, I just realized that our next guest talks about something that's coming up this next weekend, and we're going to be involved again. And so this one though, I don't think we're going to need Advil. No, but I'm super excited about it, and I'm excited for all of you to hear about it. And I'll just do a quick plug. If there is something, a topic or a nonprofit that you would like us to feature, please let us know. You can join our Facebook group, the Resilient Parenting Podcast, and you can message us from there. On this, any of the episodes, there is a text us, and you can send us a text and we will get it on our email. So let us know what you're interested in, or maybe there's been a topic that we've talked about that you really enjoyed. We want to hear from you. This is for you, so tell us what you want. So what you want?
Is it time for the next episode?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just be in the corner.
Oh, he's waiting all that time for that.
Okay, today we're chatting with Heidi Smith, who's a Human Services Program Specialist with the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare. And among other things, we're going to be touching on Kinship Day and talking about what kinship is. Good morning, Heidi. Good afternoon, Heidi. Whenever you're listening to this, Heidi.
Good morning.
Yes, and I looked it up, and it's actually a kinship celebration the whole month of September.
Oh, the whole month is. Okay.
Yeah, the whole month is like celebrate kinship. So do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. So I work for the department for about 10 years. Currently, I'm the 2-in-1 supervisor, and I do a lot in the kinship realm with our navigation program and out in the community as well.
Navigation program. We got to send out a big woot woot to the cool kids. It's the navigation teams do amazing work, and that's the 211, correct?
So 211 and navigation are separate programs. 211 does take the referral for the navigation program, and we are linked in a lot of ways, but we are two separate programs within the same division.
Right. Okay. Was that clear as mud? No, I'm just kidding. No, that makes sense. So for those that are listening that maybe don't know what we're talking about when we talk about kinship, what is kinship?
So kinship is those families who are raising relative kids, or those families who are raising kids they have a significant relationship with that we refer to as fictive kin. So grandmas and grandpas who are raising grandkids, aunties and uncles who are raising nieces and nephews, siblings, great grandparents, the whole span of relatives and fictive kin as well.
That is an amazing role that they play and can be complicated. And I know we had Charlie Hahn on talking about kinship care in another episode, and it just, like all the complications that come with all the different roles that you're playing within that family, but how important it is for the kids and the family to be able to be with folks that they know and love, while their parents are working on some things.
And I'm wondering, with kinship and foster parenting, are the two separate, or do they intermingle, or how's that work?
So we have what's called formal kinship, or formal and informal kinship care. So if those that are in the formal foster care system, those are what we call formal kinship, meaning they were placed through the foster care system in kinship cases. And then informal, which are most of the families around that are in kinship care, many more than that are in like formal kinship care. That it's just an agreement between the families that grandma or grandpa or auntie will take relative child for lots of different reasons as well. But informal is just agreements between parents and relatives and fictive kin.
So big job, big responsibility, lots of heart. So a celebration sounds like a good idea. So what's going on for the month of September?
Great question. We're so excited to have, we've had Kinship Day for actually a long time. I can't find the exact year that it started, but 10 plus years that we've had Kinship Day, and we get to, bring kinship families together and honor and celebrate them. It's such a great opportunity for families to connect and celebrate. We have games and food and resources. And the most interesting thing I think about Kinship Day is that we hear most often from kinship families that they feel alone or isolated, like they are the only ones in this situation. And many times they share that they didn't know that others were in a kinship situation as well. So it's a great way for that connection, and that, building the support network. I remember a few years ago, a great grandma in her 70s caring for a 4-year-old. And she expressed, how isolated she felt. She felt like she was on an island, completely unaware that others were also caring for relative kids. And it was such a great opportunity to see this great grandma connect with other families in her community that were caring for relatives as well. And so they built their little support network. It's always great to see that. I love to see that. And also other kids can see that, hey, other kids are in kinship care as well. So just that connection piece, and, the resource part too, as well. Knowing that there are supports and resources available for kinship families is huge.
Yeah, Ken and I have been a part of it, and I'm just thinking of all the different tables with the different activities, but also like you had mentioned, the resources that maybe families don't know about that are in the communities helping in different ways, including support groups and other resources for maybe different needs that come up. So is it possible to name a couple that are going to be there at this
Sure.
event?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're so excited this year. All the different events have different partners, but some of the partners that will be at the events, we have Idaho Parents Unlimited, the libraries, we have infant toddler program, Casey Family. I'm trying to think who else we have. We have a lot of the wardrobe. We have churches that are volunteering to come and share their supports and services. I'm trying
For
to
the
think
love of kinship, will they be there?
for the love of kinship. Yep, all the support groups will be in attending each of the events. which is wonderful.
Awesome.
I love that's one of the biggest pieces, I think, is that connection to the support group. Connecting, making sure people are aware, hey, there's, and that walk, that lived experience that the support group provides for those families is huge. So yes, lots and lots of resources. We have we years past, we here, and we also know, like, being in the 211 realm, we know kind of what kinship families need and what they're asking for. And so we really do try and gather those resources, gather those entities. People asked for, some public health information, the YES program, mental health, those kinds of things. So we really do try and gather those resources to share with families.
And you mentioned that you were talking specifically for the one that's going to be held in Meridian at Settlers Park, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and that there's, we'll talk more about that in a second. There's other areas of Idaho, though, that are also having their own celebration. How do folks find celebrations in their area?
Great question. So you can go to 211.idaho.gov or call 211, and we're able to give you the information. But the Coeur d'Alene event, it will be at Canvas Church, and the Pocatello event in southeastern Idaho will be at Heritage Park, all on September 13th, all 11 to 1.
211. I've heard this before. If somebody's not familiar with it, maybe you might want to explain a little bit more about that.
Sure. So 211 is our state's information and referral line. So all 50 states have 211. All that means is Health and Human Service. So we send people to resources in their community, and we're live operators Monday through Friday. So people call and ask for resources, a myriad of resources, rent assistance, utility assistance, help paying bills, Medicaid, those kinds of things. 211, our Idaho's 211 is also the front door to the Department of Health and Welfare. So we're able to get, how expansive the department is, and it can be confusing. So we're able to get people routed to the right place that they need to go for the answers that they're seeking.
So much easier than trying to figure out which number to call. Just call 211 and they'll help you out.
We do have a searchable database online as well that people can self-search, or you can call. And 211, we are in relation to the kinship realm. We recently launched our enhanced 211 agents. So we have trained 211 operators we've trained them on all things kinship. So dynamics of kinship families, resources for kinship families. They've done extensive training to be able to serve those kinship families. So they take all of our kinship calls that come into 211. And then on 211, we also have a portal where families can request information for kinship resources, and they also respond to those as well. So it's been very successful so far, and I really think that families they're able to provide those like upfront resources, getting started resources, give them information to whether it's a warm handoff to a different program, or whether it's a kinship navigation referral. They're able to kind of walk them through those beginning resources and help them out. So many families don't anticipate this, and they're overwhelmed, and just that extra step in, okay, here are some, have you applied for TAPI, these kinds of things. And so that then they're able to get them started and refer them on to other programs and resources as well.
Perfect. So, and we will have all of the information in the show notes if you are in a place where you can't write all this down. So a couple things. We have the 13th. We need to talk about that, but we also have a special project that's been going on for a while, the My Family, My Story art project. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yes. So we've done My Family, My Story for the last 15 years, since 2011. And it was originally created to recognize kinship kiddos and families and honor them. Same as Kinship Day, as we, raising awareness and that connection piece. We wanted, hey, there are families like mine out there. We wanted kids to be able to see that. The series has morphed a bit in the last 15 years. In the last few years, we've included a few different categories for our art and expression series. Before it was youth, And now we have youth, and we also have kinship caregivers themselves. So grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, they can enter as well. And then we have the kinship providers. So those who provide services to kinship families, just seeing that support out there in our kinship art series is really great too. So kind of those three categories. It's been so great to see. This is one of I love this project. We've had such spectacular, impactful submissions over the years. Everything from poems and drawings and photos to quilts, these kinds of things. It's really impactful to see these. And you get a glimpse of their kinship journey. And, we see a sense of kids identifying that they feel safe, they feel loved, they feel cared for, and happy. We have kids talk about having a bed to sleep in, or they talk about their traditions and cultures and their new routines. They talk about pizza night or the animals that they are caring for. You hear about all their fun times, and you also hear about the challenging times and the resilience in spite of the challenging times as well. We have funny entries, and we have, really emotional entries. We have colorful entries. It's really amazing. I always think of one entry in particular that comes to my mind. There was a 7-year-old who, it's a picture of aunt and kiddo in a rocking chair, and they're all snuggled up, and in the corner on the floor is the cat with a bubble. The cat is saying, "I thought you loved me more." And so that one always just makes me giggle every time I come across that one. So we just have a lot of great entries. They're really impactful.
And I read that for this year, the deadline was September 1st, but that you can keep sending in, but then if it's after September 1st, it'll be saved for next year's. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes, so now we're starting the 2026 entries. So, and those will also, I forgot to mention, though, My Family, My Story entries will be displayed at Kinship Day, the Kinship Day events as well, so people can take a look at those.
So much fun. I know last year that we walked around and we looked at all of the entries, and it was just a really, it's just a really great reminder of what kinship families are and do, and the heart behind it, and who it impacts the most, which is the children. So I love that. And so let's talk about the 13th. September 13th, Saturday. What's going on?
Yes, we'll have food. People show up to the event, and you register, just, sign your name in, and you can go around and visit all of our resource tables. We have food and games. We have raffles going on. There will be the director of health and welfare will be at the Meridian event, so she'll say a few words to our kinship families. And we'll have some great MCs, and we'll be able to just share great resources and connection at our wonderful event. I'm really excited for it.
One of the MCs is really cute, and it's not me.
But enough about you. Yeah, Ken and I were really honored to be the MCs last year, and we were invited back. So all of your dad jokes must have landed okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how do folks RSVP for this event?
So you can go to 211.idaho.gov, and you can RSVP through our website, or you can call 211 and we can put you down to RSVP for that you're coming.
Quick question, the My Family, My Story. Is there a possibility outside of the actual event for people to see any of these works?
Yes, so they are actually on our website. We do have them posted from all years back, or most years back. They're posted on 211's website, so you can actually just go in and see all of our past entries. Really impactful, and I do suggest you do that. It's so great.
I will find the link and I will add it to the show notes. So I will be your navigator. Look, I'm a navigator. I always said I wanted to be one of the cool kids. So I will be a navigator to the resources on our show notes.
Thank you, Michelle. That's awesome.
Is there anything we didn't ask that you think is important that folks know?
No, we just want everybody to come. Even if you don't RSVP, please feel free to
Okay.
come and join our celebration. We just want, people to feel that support and connection, and we want to honor and celebrate you.
What time is it at?
It's 11 a.m.
11 a.m. Settlers Park on September 13th. You can RSVP, but again, you can just show up. And can this be well, I'm just thinking for folks who maybe aren't connected to the department, but are still giving kinship care. This is for any kinship providers. Is that correct?
Yes, and anybody who wants to support our kinship families as well. We do have community partners that come and, get to participate in that way. We do have a proclamation too. The governor proclaims September 13th, Idaho Kinship Family Day. So coming to hear the proclamation, that's pretty neat as well. So
Nice. Well, it's always a good time, and it's an event that has lots of heart. And so thank you so much for joining us today and sharing the information. Do you have any parting words, Ken?
No, but yeah.
Wait, what?
No, but no. No. Yeah, I have nothing. No, I have no. No.
And you talked for a living. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Heidi.
This podcast is brought to you by the Idaho Children's Trust Fund.